gas prices are rising again. But here's the shocking truth nobody tells you. Nearly 40% of the fuel you buy is wasted, not by your car, but by hidden habits, outdated myths, and tricks gas stations hope you never discover. Today, I'm revealing 15 fuel-saving secrets backed by government research, automotive engineering studies, and real-world test data, including one tip gas stations absolutely hate because it slashes their profits instantly. If you drive anything, sedan, truck, or SUV, these 15 secrets will save you hundreds of dollars per year, protect your engine, and prevent repairs that cost over $2,500. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. Let's get started. Number 15. The myth of premium fuel. Premium gasoline is one of the most misunderstood and overpriced things in the car world, and gas stations make a lot of money off of that. Most drivers think that premium indicates cleaner, stronger, or better for the engine. Yet 8AA data shows that more than 16 million Americans use premium fuel incorrectly every year, losing more than $2 billion. The truth is simple. Premium fuel is merely higher in octane, which is used to stop knocking in high compression or turbocharged engines. It doesn't make conventional cars run better. Consumer Reports ran several tests and found that using premium gas in automobiles that just need ordinary 87 octane did not improve mileage, horsepower, or longevity in any way. In some engines, premium gas can even make them less efficient because the ECU is set up to work better with lower octane gas. Don't spend your money unless your gas cap says premium required. You may save $300 to $500 a year by using ordinary unleaded gas instead of premium, and it won't hurt your engine or performance. Number 14. The truth about air filters. A dirty air filter doesn't just affect how air flows, it also affects how well the engine works, how efficiently it runs over time, and how it starts up in the cold. Some people think that fuel-injected engines automatically make up for clogged filters. However, multiple SAE studies show that clogged filters lower horsepower by 6 to 11%, put more stress on the engine, and make the intake system collect more carbon. The ECU tries to keep the air-fuel ratio at 14.7 to 1, but when airflow is limited, combustion diminishes, which makes starting difficult and causes bogging and poor throttle response. Over time, too much carbon buildup can make the engine less efficient and slower to accelerate, which frequently means the engine has to consume more fuel to keep up power. University studies also show that dirty filters can limit the life of spark plugs and mess up readings from mass airflow sensors. Replacing the air filter every 12,000 to 15,000 miles stops these problems and usually boosts real-world mileage by 3 to 5%, saving you about $100 a year. Number 13. Effect of tire pressure. Your tires are the only part of your automobile that touches the road, so even a slight drop in pressure can have a big effect on how much gas you use. According to research by the US Department of Energy, every 1 psi drop in all 4 tires lowers fuel economy by 0.2%. Most cars are unwittingly running with tires that are too low since tires lose about 1 psi every month. The TPMS warning light only goes on when the pressure drops 25% below the acceptable level, which means that drivers are already wasting gas long before they know something is wrong. Driving with 8 psi low, which is a very typical problem, lowers gas mileage by 1.5% to 3% and makes tires wear out thousands of miles faster. Number 12. Roof rack pull. Unused roof racks and cargo boxes are some of the worst things you can have on your car that affect fuel economy. When you're driving on the highway, aerodynamics are more crucial than weight. An accessory on the roof might make your car far less fuel efficient. Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory's research showed that empty roof racks cut fuel economy by 2 to 5%. And at 75 mph, the loss goes up to 12%. Cargo boxes are significantly worse because they create drag and block airflow, which makes things 25% less efficient. Putting things on the roof instead of in the trunk makes the situation twice as bad because the weight and drag work together. Depending on how fast you drive, a loaded roof rack might lower your MPG by 10% to 25%. If you take off racks you don't use, choose aerodynamic teardrop designs, and don't utilize roof accessories while traveling every day, you might save $150 to $250 a year on your highway driving. Number 11. Use cruise control. Adaptive cruise control, ACC, is one of the best ways to save gas that most people don't know about in current cars. Even when they think they're going at a steady speed, People instinctively speed up and slow down in ways that aren't always the same. Research from MIT and the Department of Transportation shows that changing speeds between 47 and 53 mph can use up to 20% more gas, and driving aggressively can cut highway MPG by 30%. ACC stops this waste by keeping acceleration and braking smooth and under control. It also cuts down on the stop-and-go accordion effect in traffic, which puts less stress on the brakes and engine parts. The University of Michigan's tests show that adopting ACC can save most drivers between $100 and $200 a year on gas, which is about 5 to 7% better fuel economy on average. But surveys suggest that 34% of drivers never utilize cruise control. Number 10. Stop idling too much. Idling is one of the quietest ways to waste fuel, since people don't realize how much gas a running engine uses while the car isn't moving. The EPA says that idling uses 0.25 to 0.5 gallons per hour, and US drivers squander 3 billion gallons a year just sitting motionless. In cold conditions, modern engines don't need to idle for more than 30 seconds. Driving heats the engine up faster and better. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. Number 9. Oil with a lower viscosity. Engine oil directly affects how fuel efficient a car is by lowering friction inside the engine. Synthetic oils with a lower viscosity, such as 0W20, move faster and make it easier for things to move, especially while the engine is cold. According to the US Department of Energy, going from a higher viscosity oil like 5W30 to a lower grade will improve fuel efficiency by 2 to 3% as long as the vehicle can use it. Many car companies like Ford, GM, Honda, and Toyota have authorized 0W20 for engines that used to use 5W30 because it makes them run better. Number 8. What is the danger of drafting? Drafting, or driving very close behind a big vehicle to cut down on wind resistance, is known to greatly improve fuel efficiency, but it is also quite dangerous and against the law. Tests by SAE and Mythbusters prove that driving only 10 feet behind a semi-truck cuts fuel use by an amazing 35% because it lowers aerodynamic drag. The savings stay about 10% even at 100 feet. Number 7. Windows versus AC. There is a scientifically proven answer to the age-old question of whether to use air conditioning or roll down the windows. The Department of Energy and SAE automobile engineers say that the right decision relies on speed. Open windows work better at speeds below 45 mph because the aerodynamic drag stays low. When you're going faster than 60 mph on the highway, sliding down the windows makes the engine work harder by increasing drag by 8 to 15%. Air conditioning, on the other hand, uses 10% to 30% more fuel, depending on the temperature and the load on the compressor. Number 6. Get rid of extra weight. Extra weight makes the engine work harder, which means it needs more gasoline to speed up and keep going. The Department of Energy says that removing 100 pounds of unneeded goods from your car will improve fuel economy by about 1%. The average motorist carries 60 to 120 pounds of unnecessary items in their trunk without even knowing it. Over time, things like outdated tools, sports gear, seasonal gear, and extra fluids build up and make your car use a lot less gas. This is especially true when you drive in the city, where you have to speed up a lot. Pickup truck owners notice even bigger benefits since taking weight off the bed changes how air flows and how hard it is to roll. Taking off 200 pounds can make your MPG go up by as much as 2%. It's not a good idea to take out important safety components like spare tires, but getting rid of things you don't use every month makes the car lighter, makes the suspension work better, and saves you $60, $100, even $50 a year. The idea is simple. Lighter cars use less energy, and less energy means less fuel burnt. Number 5. Expect traffic. Driving smoothly is one of the best ways to save gas, but most drivers don't realize how much aggressive habits cost them. Studies by MIT reveal that speeding up quickly and stopping hard can cut fuel efficiency by 15% to 30%. Studies by AAA show that speeding only saves the typical commuter 26 seconds a day. The most important thing is to drive with foresight. Look ahead, guess how traffic will flow, and make as few stops as possible. Number 4. Look at the gas cap. Your gas cap is very important for keeping the right pressure in the fuel system and stopping vapor loss. The Department of Transportation says that 1 in 5 cars has a gas cap that is loose, broken, or worn out, which lets up to 30 gallons of fuel vapors escape each year. Now, these vapors that have evaporated can cause evap system leak codes like P0440, P0455, or P0457. They can also make the engine run roughly, hesitate, and use less gasoline. To keep pressure and keep hydrocarbons from leaking into the air, the evap system needs to be sealed properly. A broken rubber seal or cracked cap neck throws off this balance, and the engine has to change the fuel trims to make up for the leak. Gas caps are only $10 to $25, but if you don't pay attention to them, it might cost you $1,000 to $2,500 to fix the evap system. Check the cap every week to make sure it's tight, the seal is still there, and there are no cracks. This will help you prevent wasting money and having to make costly repairs. Number 3, don't fill too much. Most drivers don't know that filling your gas tank to the top after the nozzle clicks might cause big and expensive difficulties. When the tank is too full, gasoline can get into the evap system's charcoal canister. This canister is only meant to catch vapors, not liquid fuel. When the system gets dirty, it can't control the pressure anymore, which might cause check engine lights, stalling, rough idling, and P0455 leak codes. Depending on the cost of materials and labor, fixing EVAP problems might cost between $2,200 and $2,500. On the other hand, driving with a tank that is almost empty a lot might overheat the fuel pump because it needs gasoline to cool and lubricate it. If you run your car with less than a quarter tank of gas too often, it can burn out the pump, which costs between $800 and $2,500 to fix. Stop filling after the first automated click to protect both systems and keep your tank above 25%. This little habit keeps you from wasting gas and makes expensive parts last longer. Number 2, use the best fuel. Top tier gasoline has 2.5 times more detergent chemicals than the EPA's minimum standard. This difference is important. According to an AIA study, engines that only use non-top tier fuel built up 19 times more carbon deposits on the intake valves, injectors, and combustion chambers in just 4,000 miles. Carbon buildup makes it harder for air to move, messes up atomization, makes knock worse, lowers MPG, and makes engines burn more gasoline to keep up their performance. Shell, Chevron, Texaco, Exxon, Mobil, Costco, and other brands are all examples of top-tier fuels that automakers have tested and found to keep engines clean. It can cost $300 to $600 to have deposits cleaned by a professional, but switching to top-tier fuel often improves performance over the course of many tanks. Number 1, keep the closed loop system running efficiently. Modern engines can run on 2 types of fuel: open loop, rich mixture during warm-up, and closed loop, optimized mixture utilizing oxygen sensors. Closed loop mode is the only way to get good gas mileage. However, many cars linger in open loop mode longer because of problems that drivers don't realize. If the thermostat is weak, the coolant temperature sensor is broken, the oil is too thick for winter, or the oxygen sensors are getting old, the engine may not reach the right temperature quickly. A Bosch study shows that worn O2 sensors can cut fuel economy by as much as 15%, and a broken thermostat can cut MPG by 5% to 12% since the ECU thinks the engine is still cold. Fixing these parts makes sure that fuel trims stabilize faster and combustion is at its best. Every 60,000 to 90,000 miles, replace the oxygen sensors, make sure the coolant levels are right, and use the right oil viscosity for the weather. Keeping a swift transition to closed loop makes the engine respond better, cuts down on pollutants, and saves $100 to $200 a year on gas. Fuel prices aren't going down anytime soon, but now you know 15 powerful secrets that gas stations hope you never discover. If you use even half of these tips, you could save $300 to $800 every single year and add years to your engine's life. If you want more money-saving automotive strategies, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Your wallet and your engine will thank you.